Don't forget to use TCG Center 5 code on ccgcastle.com and get 5% discount on your purchase. Check video description or visit CCG Castle for more.
Hello everyone, welcome to Pokemon TCG Center. Today we'll be looking at the Giratina EX Vileplume log deck in Standard that I made. Basically I played with this deck today and I actually managed to grab 2 victories and got 1 defeat with it. So basically the game 1 that I played, I lost against Evoltol, Crobat and Raichu, but I lost because I misplayed. After I played AZ, I totally randomly shuffled my hands into my deck by playing Birch, and pretty much lost the game. So that was the huge mistake. But in my opinion, deck works pretty good, and it can be a little bit more tweaked. The second thing is that it can be pretty weak against Aegislash because of course you play a lot of special energies, and I didn't tech any Hex Maniac in this deck, so that Hex Maniac could be the card that you would actually like to see in this deck. So basically I played 3 copies of Giratina EX for the main attacker. Pretty much Giratina 170 HP with 4 energies, Chaos Wheel for the 100, and your opponent cannot play any Pokemon Tool, Special Energy or Stadium card from his or her hand during next turn. And pretty much Mega Evolution cannot affect Giratina EX. Then of course I played 3 copies of Oddish from Ancient Origins, and I also decided to run 3 Gloms with the 3 Vileplumes, and that works pretty good. In most cases I managed to get turn 1 Vileplume in play when I was first. And once you are able to get Vileplume with Floatstone in front active spot Giratina with double Dragon Energy and Muscle Band, you're pretty much halfway to win a game if your opponent does not play Zero Seek, Team Flare Grunt or something like that. And for support I have 2 copies of Miltanks. I tagged inside just for those Aegislash EXs and other Pokemons. Miltank can be good because if you have Vileplume in play you can hit for 100 if you have Muscle Band attached to it with only 1 energies, and that's the reason why I kept 2 Miltanks in this deck, but maybe even 3 would be good. And I also ran 3 Shaman's EX for the setup pretty much, so you can set up and also maybe Sky Return just in case you need. So that's 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 17 Pokemons in total. From energies, I have like 2 grass energies. As I mentioned before, they can be used on Miltank, so you don't want to waste your double colorless energies for Miltank attack. Then I also have 4 copies of double colorless energies. They will be of course used on that Giratina EX. Pretty much if you want to attack with Giratina you need to have 2 special energy attached on it, and that's the problem in this deck. And of course 4 double dragon energies, they're always pretty good to have, and you need to have 4 of them of course. I also decided to play 4 copies of Forest of the Giant Plant because it's just crucial to get turn 1 Vileplume, but later as I played a lot I totally see that sometimes even with the 4 Forest of the Giant Plants I was not able to get it turn 1, even turn 2, but once you set up your Vileplume it just doesn't matter if you have 3 or 4 copies. It's just later for the Stadium War, but I think that also 3 would be good, so discarding 1 Forest of the Giant Plant will give you 1 more space in your deck, for example, for something like I don't know, maybe Team Flare Grant, or I'm not sure if it's Team Flare Grant supporter that remove one energy. Yeah, Team Flare Grant. So that could be maybe even better to have. So from tool cards and item cards, I played 3 versus Secret to increase attack on my Giratina EX, and I also played 3 copies of the Floatstone. So yeah, I have 3 copies of Floatstones just because before I evolve into Vileplume, I just want to be sure that my Vileplume have Floatstone on it, so I can free retreat in case my opponent Lysander me in the front, because 3 retreat cost is a huge problem for the Vileplume. Of course, you can AZ it and put it back in 1 turn with the force with the giant plant, but also with Floatstone you're pretty much safe, just in case also that your opponent play maybe Lysander on any other card. The reason why I didn't play 1 copy of Hydreigon EX to get 1 retreat on Giratina is because that I didn't have it. So that's the reason why I didn't put it into this build. Later on, I have like 3 copies of Trainer's Mails, but also maybe 4th will be good. And I also have only 2 versus Seeker, because versus Seeker is pretty much for like turn 1, maybe turn 2 later in game. You really don't need it, because you cannot play it because you have Vileplume. Of course, 4 copies of Ultra Ball, so you can pretty much set up turn 1 for the Vileplume and for the Giratina, so you can attack for 100, even 120. So with Ultra Balls you can search your Shamins or Giratinas, even Vileplume if you need it. And I also decided to play 2 level balls, but also level balls can be replaced with the heavy balls. Well, that's pretty much, in my opinion, if you play heavy ball you can grab Giratina and Vileplume, and if you play Ultra Balls you can search your deck for Shamins, and that's maybe even better because drawing Shamin and with the level ball drawing Giratina maybe is better, but I don't know, it's just up to you. And yeah, from the supporter line I have 4 copies of Sycamore. That's just what I play pretty much in every deck that I made. Later on I have now a few more different supporter cards. I have 1 Judge, just in case if I manage to get Giratina and Vileplume lock into turn 1, and if I can judge my opponent down to 4 cards, that's pretty much 70% of getting a chance to win the game, and that's the case in one of my games today. And I also play Professor Birch Observation, only 1 copy of it. Later on I play 1 Zero Sick, because with the Zero Sick you can discard Pokemon tool or special energy card attached to one of your opponent's Pokemon in play, or even your Pokemon. I also play 1 copy of Team Flare Grant. With it I can discard a energy attached to my opponent's active Pokemon. I also played 1 copy of AZ in this deck. AZ is also good pretty much in all decks, but also in this deck, just in case you stacked with something in the front that you cannot retreat, it's pretty much good. Also 1 copy of Pokemon Center Lady, also not bad card in my opinion, especially when that new, oh, what's the name? Fighting Fury Belt will be legal, I mean. For example, your Giratina X will have 220 HP, and let's say that your opponent attack it for 120, you can still heal for 60, and he still need to attack it twice. For example, if he played Giratina also, if it's the mirror match or something like that, you can survive pretty much 1 more turn, but it's pretty good. Also on those Shamins, and your opponent cannot remove them if you play Vileplume. And of course I played at the end 2 copies of the Lysander, so with Lysander pretty much you can Lysander any of your opponent's Pokemon from the bench to active spot, and that's, in my opinion, 2 copies need to be played in this deck, maybe even 3, but since you cannot play versus seekers, but I think that 2 is pretty much good number for this deck. So that was my Giratina Vileplume deck list for the standard format that I was played today, and I must say that the deck works good. So if you have any questions, you can just leave comments below. Let me know what you think about deck. Don't forget to like or dislike this video if you don't like it, and the most important thing, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more future videos. So till the next time, I hope you enjoy watching this video. Have a nice day, and goodbye.